Hello, Professor Barrera. For our team meeting today, our agenda was to first analyze our Year 13 choices and determine what worked for us and what set us back. Next, we started playing around with our numbers for Year 14 based off our goals that we made. After finalizing all of our Year 14 decisions, we worked on the write-up portion for our final paper for Year 13 and worked on the introduction portion to ensure that we don't fall behind on that aspect in the course.
So year 13 was definitely the worst year we've had to date so far, and there were a lot of wrong decisions that we made all across the board. For example, we had a good amount of ending cash going into year 13, and because of this, we got careless with the amount of money that was spent on things like expanding, new equipment, and other updates. Although these choices will most likely help us out later in the game, we spent too much cash in one year, and we put ourselves in a rough position for the next year, and it actually left us with a negative cash balance for the start of year 14. Because we were investing so much cash into our business in year 13, we sacrificed our scoring measures such as EPS and ROE, which is one of the main reasons why we lost our place in the competition. We definitely have a lot to work on going into year 14 to regain our position against our competitors and increase our numbers. And then, although there were a lot of wrong decisions made in year 13, there were still a couple of successes that the Gals company saw. We had been struggling in previous years to obtain a celebrity endorsement, which we knew was necessary for our public image, but we finally scored 2 celebrity contracts with Judy Judge and Bud Birkenstock. We also still obtained a fairly good position in the North American market compared to our competitors. So even though our rank decreased, where we were in the market stayed the same. We also decided to invest more money into our wholesaler retailer support, since that's our main source of profit for our company, and that'll hopefully help us learn or earn more retail exposure and sales. Bless you. And sales as a whole.
Alright, so now moving on to our improvement section. Basically, like Hannah had mentioned, we did have a bad year. So we're gonna work on it for year 14. So basically, like the only improvements we had were in 3 sections, which were the SQ ratings, the net revenue, and the image rating. So for North America, we increased it by 1.3. For Europe, we increased by 1 when it came to the SQ rating, Asia Pacific by 2, and then Latin America, we only increased by 0.1. So as for the net revenue for the internet segment was the only one we increased. So we went from 1,044,461 to 160,482. So we only increased a small section by 16,021. So when it came to our image rating, we started off in year 12 with 76, and then year 13 we went to 79. So we only increased by 3. As for the private level section, we didn't sell any pairs for the last 3 years. So that's year 11, 12, and 13 because their prices were too high. So that's something we have to definitely focus on in the future. And then aside from these 3 major improvements, other areas we decreased. For other areas we mostly decreased. So our EPS went down. It went from 2.36 to 0.56, so it decreased by 1.8. Then our ROE dropped by 12.8% because during year 12 we were at 16.4%. Then we dropped to 3.6%. For stock price, we started off with 21.46 for year 12, and then for year 13 we went to 9.07, which dropped $12.39. So for a credit rating, we went from a B to a C minus. So we had a lot of decreases during this year and only a few improvements.
So for year 14, we plan to start repaying our loans in the amount of $20,000 at 7.1%. And we noticed that in the past years we were paying too high of prices for internet marketing and not seeing a good return on investment. So this year we're planning to decrease internet marketing prices. In terms of the competitive assumptions for the past few years, we were giving free shipping, but we've now changed it from all to few. We also decided to decrease prices for the wholesale market. In year 13, our price was $60 for the North America, segment, but we're lowering it to $55. And a big goal for year 14 is to even out our SQ rating, which will better our position in terms of foreign countries and overall. So hopefully year 14 is a better year for us. That's all.
Bye.
Bye.